Hello,
Hello.
and welcome back to Strong Woman Highs - Life is a Mishmash. Gets better every
You've
time.
got the tempo right for it. It's
I
when you
know.
try and say it too quickly.
We're doing like pure David Attenborough vibes now, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. So, in today's episode, we're going to do like a general life updates because it's been very busy. Since the last episode, a lot has happened. So, we'll do bit updates. We'll have a bit of chat about some stuff. There's a few questions I want to ask you, Jenny, about things. And then we'll do, obviously, the usual silly goosing. So, going to be a pretty relaxed episode today. So, buckle in and get excited. So, let's talk about Jenny.
Do we have to? Right. Yeah.
So, your plan for this year. I want to know, first of all, what your overall plan for this year is. Like, what your main focus is for this year. Couldn't be strongman, couldn't be just general life goals.
It's not strongman. It's business. So, I joined a Supercharged Fit Pro mentorship at the start of the year. So, I'd like to see that through.
Yeah.
And, add some more substance to what I already do.
Yeah.
Kind of run like a business rather than just a idiot that
Just fun times.
likes her job and is her own boss, but
Yeah.
is not very professional in that businessy domain.
Almost like taking it a bit more seriously.
Absolutely, because I can't deal with the stress anymore, to be quite honest. I might as well just work in little.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Running your own business is a really good idea, but it just requires a lot of extra effort that I think a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of extra pressure as well. And although you're doing something that you love, stuff that you love can quickly turn into stuff that you hate if it's very hard.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good idea. What's the course like that you're on?
It's sound.
Enjoying it?
It's pretty much just like it's not established as a course. You don't run through it like in a systematic fashion. You work with a mentor and they'll pick out your weaknesses and they'll send the trainings to you. So I'm working with Dean, and we'll have a catch up once a month, and then like, what did you get on with? Have you actioned all of the things?
Yeah.
What do we need to action next? And just basically working at my level rather than trying to push me into a course that might be inappropriate for me. It might be too beginner, or it might be too advanced. It's meeting me where I am.
That's a good idea. That I like that it's personalised because it makes sense with it being like a bit of a different business plan as well, doesn't it?
Aye.
Cool.
Well, it's who Chloe's been working with for the last not the same mentor but the same business. For the last year, and it like you can see how
successful that's been.
She's absolutely flown with it. Not that she wasn't doing well beforehand, but that's just sent her up another level. So
100%. Her branding is on point, innit?
Aye, it is. And that's all this is. Like, it is marketing and branding. I can be the world's best coach, and I do pretty well with that.
Yeah.
But if nobody knows about it, and I'm not regularly advertising when somebody leaves the sport and doesn't really want to train anymore, because that happens.
Yeah.
People drop off. When's your next one coming in? It's about keeping a constant stream.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Strongman this year. Literally don't give a fuck. I literally just care about what my friends and what my clients are getting up to.
Are you gonna do Europe's though? I know that's the question
on
everyone's lips.
See, I have no intention of working towards that unless it tickles my pickle closer to the time.
Come on, Europe, make sure them events are good. Get Jenny Sean back in.
If there were cool events, I'd absolutely do it. If there's a fucking truck pull and a tyre flip in it, I'm there.
You can't. There's no way you can get truck pull and tyre flip in one event.
I'm telling you, you can.
OSG,
I'm telling you, you can. Don't.
That's
never
strongman vibes. That.
No. There's no don't. We can do whatever we want to.
I'd like not to have a tyre flip.
I would love both of those events. Let's see how many more biceps can get pinged off.
Oh, let's not. Yeah, I really want you to do Europe's. I think it'll be really good if we can all do Europe's again, because last year was so much fun.
It was great crack. I feel like if I was to do it because I really enjoyed it last year, I'd be doing it for the wrong reason, because I don't think the same kind of...
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same crack, because it was the first one. The second
Yeah.
one's going to be taken a bit more seriously, and
That's
a
a
lot
fair
more
point,
athletes are going to be
yeah.
involved in it. So it would make the pool a lot more advanced, like experienced athletes, like and fucking Sonny coming down to 73s as well.
Oh,
like,
God.
oh my god,
Oh, God,
I'd be
yeah.
fighting just to stay on that third place.
I tell you what, though, that would be a cool battle to see you, Sonny, and Chloe
That'd
all
be
up
mint.
against each
Aye, it would
other.
be
Because
cool.
I genuinely don't think there's one, like, that could... It would be totally dependent on the events and who
Absolutely.
was in the right space on the right
Aye.
day. Because I don't think you could pick out of any of you three one that would, like, be an outlier and be like, yeah, she'll definitely do that. I don't think so. Not at 73.
No.
If you two went up to 82, then Sonny would smash you both. But I think at 73...
No,
I think it's a fair playing
it's a
field.
battle between Chloe and Sonny for top
I think you're in
place,
there.
and
We'll just have to find out.
yeah, we'll see.
We'll
But no,
see.
like genuinely, couldn't give a fuck. If it's exciting, I'll do it, and that's where I am at the moment. If it's exciting enough, I'll do it. Like running for the time being is strangely exciting me. So
I was going to say, this leads us on to our next bit. So, you're now a runner.
yeah.
When did you start running?
When you started running, so this is all your fault.
All my
If I
fault.
die on Saturday,
I'm not
it's
taking the
entirely
blame.
your
I'm
responsibility.
clearly not a runner.
Well, but neither am I, or neither was I.
You're taking it a lot more seriously than I am.
Well, it was just something different to do, and I liked your spin on it. Like, it's about building my work capacity and being able to recover better from training. So,
Yeah.
looking at it from the perspective of somebody who's, you know, I'm closing in on the second half of my 30s. So
Yeah.
I'm getting close to the 40s. I need to work on my health a little bit more and, you know, be a bit more responsible. And
Yeah.
strongman is not the sport for longevity.
No.
It absolutely will make you die sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a leg to stand on here.
So let's do something for the old ticker in the lungs.
Yeah.
I've got fried lungs anyway, so might as well make that better.
Yeah.
And it genuinely, I really fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's hard,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so is anything that's worthwhile, and it doesn't always have to be hard. That I think, looking back on the reason why I always hated running, I started at school. I was not great at the like short distance things, the sprinty things, the explosive things. I was quite short for my age at the time, and like I had a growth spurt when I hit puberty, but that was way later than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, Jenny, why don't you just do the 1500 meters?" I'm like, I've got asthma. Oh, never mind, it'll be fine, it'll be all right. And then like all I've thought about running, I've related it to just being out of breath, feeling that
Yeah.
tightness in my upper chest, and needing my inhaler.
Yeah.
And panicking about needing my inhaler.
Yeah.
And like, am I gonna have an asthma attack? And that's shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
but it doesn't have to be that way. Like, I'm not training to the point where I need my inhaler.
Yeah.
It's like running training should be a lot more low endurance,
Well, I was
low
gonna-
intensity.
Yeah, I was going to say that then. So how have you overcome that feeling then? Because I know, like, I had the same thing. I don't have asthma, but I'm just a bit fat and lazy. And I do get really out of breath when I'm running. The way that I've sort of dealt with that is running slow. Like, I run at basically people's walking pace.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting the same, like, benefits from it, and I'm not getting out of breath. Because I've always Ben's always told me, conversational pace,
Yeah.
that's what you want to be running at. Especially if you're doing endurance, which is what you're aiming for now. Like, if you can talk while you're running, you sound.
Yeah.
So is that what have you done to sort of get away from that scary I'm going to have an asthma attack thing?
Two ways. Nose breathing only, because I
Ooh.
don't run with people, because I don't want to talk to fucking people while I'm running. Like, I just want to do it to be alone, and that's one of the most enjoyable things about it.
Yeah.
But it's breathing through the nose, so if I can maintain nasal breathing only and I don't need to gasp air through my mouth,
Yeah.
then I'm probably conversational pace. But
Yeah.
because I don't run effectively or efficiently, because I'm still a beginner,
Yeah.
absolute beginner. I started in November,
Yeah.
and this is what we're in March now, so it's been not even 5 months, 4 months,
yeah.
just over 4 months. So I don't run efficiently, so
Yeah.
it requires more energy for me to run than it does to walk. Mm-hmm. So then I've been like, nose breathing only, fine, but my heart rate's through the fucking roof. It's just like, I'm used to working at a higher capacity and being able to deal with it. It doesn't mean that I'm actually that fit. So I need to tone it down. Like, how I would measure my intensity on a run is basically 2 days later. If I can't fucking walk, it means that I've not been aerobic.
Yeah.
I've been anaerobic.
Yeah.
And I've gone too far. So, heart rate monitor and setting it up to give me an alert when I go over 140 beats per minute. Right. And if it beeps, I walk.
Right, okay.
And then I'll start running again in about a minute or two.
That's a really good idea. I like that a lot, because I was reading a thing about beginner runners, and I was also interested in my heart rate, because that was one of my reasons for running, was to just lower my resting heart rate and have, like, if I walk up a flight of stairs, my heart rate can go up to 170. I'm like, this is insane. Like, this is death. So I was really obsessed with my heart rate, but because I'm so unfit, my heart rate's like, the minute I start running, it gets like 160, 170, and it just levels out around there. But I was reading a thing the other day that said if you're within your first year of running, your heart rate's almost irrelevant because your body's just not used to it, and it takes so long to change that capacity that your heart rate has that, like, within the first 12 months, it's basically irrelevant. Yeah. Which I like, but also I like the fact that you're still tracking yours, because I think you're a little bit fitter than I would ever have been, like, as a starting point.
Not much though. Like, if I start running, it'll very easily soar up to 150 beats per minute. So I'm like 10 less than you.
Yeah. I've just got the extra body weight.
That's probably all it is, because I'm older than you, so it should be the reverse of that. But
yeah, no, it's really interesting that. And so the plan is now then, so you started running in November. When did you hear about this race on Saturday that you're doing? Well, race.
It's more just a group effort rather than a race, because it's not an organised thing. But I did the Couch to 5K thing. My old CrossFit coach Leon, shout out to Leon. He got in touch with him because he'd, just as like a bit of friendly encouragement, he has a daughter and he takes her out fell running and stuff, and I saw that that's what they were getting up to, and I thought that's fucking gorgeous. Like, that is a really top quality wholesome moment right there. I love that idea, and I love the idea of going, you know, running in beautiful places, because Redcar's not beautiful. Then I'm really bored. So, like, that is my goal, to be able to work on my fitness and capacity so that I can take on stuff like that and basically just see more beautiful things in a shorter space of time. Because I already walk in the hills, I already love being outside, and I'll hike and camp with my boyfriend, but I want something a little bit more, and maybe I want to find those hikes easier. And I fucking do. Like, I really, really find them a piece of piss now. If there's only walking involved, easy. Piss taking easy. So I messaged Leon and I said, you know, that's really lovely that you're doing that. I'm doing the Couch to 5K, and I'd love to be able to, like, go fell running. And he's like, oh, why don't you join us sometime? Let me know when you're ready. I'm like, okay. And I didn't. And he tagged me in something, or maybe I commented on one of his posts about a group. It's a group run in the Cheviot, and they've got a 20-kilo dumbbell and they have to pass it along. So they've got to carry it for, I don't remember how long, maybe a kilometre each. And if they have to put it down, they get a penalty. So they have to do like 30 burpees or something ridiculous like that. I don't want to do that.
That sounds awful.
But then again, I wouldn't fucking drop it because I don't want to do the penalty.
Oh, absolutely not.
So he asked me about that, or maybe it was just to do the Cheviot. But he tagged me in comment section for, you know, to find out about, is anybody actually wanting to get involved in this one, because it's just a big group of guys, there's no women in it. I'm like, do you think I could do it? And he's like, I think so. So there I am. There was something about him calling me a sissy if I didn't do it, so
well, fair enough. I mean, peer pressure always works pretty well.
Works for me.
So
that's how I took up smoking.
Always the best decisions. So do you want to describe what it is then? What are you doing
the
this
George
Saturday?
Fisher tea round. So it was invented, I believe, by the staff at George Fisher Cafe or shop in Keswick after COVID had basically wiped everybody out and made everybody scared of doing things. How can we find more people to go running hills?
Yeah.
Rather than just flooding the lakes with their camper vans and
Shit.
being everywhere and being disgusting.
Yeah.
Let's make them do something. So it's basically the 8 hills that you can see from George Fisher Cafe.
Yeah, in a big circle.
Yeah, in a big circle, and then back to the cafe, and then that's start and finish done.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But how
it's
many
awful.
miles is it?
It's many. I don't know miles, kilometers. It's 47.
I think it's 30 miles, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's technically, well, it is an ultra marathon because anything over 26 is 26 is a marathon.
I have no idea.
24 or 26. You can tell we run loads. Anything over whatever a marathon distance is classed as an ultra.
Yeah.
And then, but I think it's also like 12,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you just got to run 30 miles on the flat.
No, we're gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down, up,
Lot of
down,
hills.
up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then back to the cafe.
You do get a t-shirt if you finish it though. But when Ben did his, so Ben's done it before, my partner who does a lot of ultras, and he did it, was it last year?
Yeah.
On that like hottest day of the year, when it was like 30 degrees or something, and he did nearly die.
I
but-
was in a cold bath that day.
honestly, I
He's
couldn't
an
think of
idiot.
anything fucking worse. But I think it took him, was it 11 hours? It took him, but he didn't get to the cafe in time, so he didn't get a t-shirt. So technically, he hasn't done it, has he?
Fucking hell.
Doesn't count. It's like if it doesn't go on Strava, it doesn't count. But yeah, so he'd taken 11 hours, and he said it was hard. But you went out running with him the other day, didn't you? And you'd gone and done a little trek out in the lakes, and
Yeah, it
you'd
was the
survived
espresso
that.
round, so it was 4 of the hills, same route, but
Like
well,
half
similar.
of it, innit?
Yeah. And it was fine.
Yeah,
It was hard.
yeah, but
And
it's
I
gonna be,
probably
innit?
won't go as fast at the start
No.
for this longer one because it's double the distance, but double and more. But it was fine.
Yeah. And so you've sorted out your food and stuff, because obviously if you're doing ultras, you've got to eat during. So you sorted with your food.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to eat all the way
Oh
through
yeah.
it. The transport, as many calories as humanly possible.
Well, it's an opportunity to eat fun stuff, isn't it?
You can
just
eat
snacks.
Literally whatever you
Just
want.
eat all the snacks.
Because you're just burning it straight off, aren't you? And there's a group of you doing it. So what I'd want to know is what's your game plan going into this? Because obviously you're very experienced with strongman comps, and you can deal with any situation really that's thrown at you in that scenario. But this is completely different,
Yeah.
innit? This is going to be a completely different set of problems that you're potentially going to come up against. What sort of plans have you got in place for stuff going wrong?
I've got a first aid kit, including super glue,
Solid.
just in case. We will be setting off before the sun has risen, so head torch. I've got some reflective armband things because we basically just wear black, so
No one's going to see you anyway.
to be able to be seen. And just I plan on just taking it pretty easy while it's
Yeah.
dark. And then once the sun's up and I've got my goggles back on,
Tank on a
I can
bit.
actually see where I'm fucking going. I can take it a bit more a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
But I think I need to stick with the group.
Yeah.
This was the big thing for me is it's a group of men that have been running for a number of years. They're not professional runners
Yeah.
by any means, but they're used to that and they're used to working in a group, and I'm not. And I kind of get away from the whole group activity thing because I'm not a group person. I'm a very introvert. So
Yeah.
and I don't want the group to get me carried away at thinking that I can go at a pace that I'm not going to be able to maintain. Because I
Yeah.
don't want to get halfway through and think, fuck,
Have to pull
I'm
it.
dead.
Yeah.
And just stagger down into fucking Keswick again.
No. Yeah.
I need to be able to finish it. That's all I want to do. So
Yeah.
stick with them in the night because it'll just be a big glow of people moving forwards. And if anything happens, then there's a group of people there to help
Yeah.
out. And then after that, I don't really care about staying with the group. Just
Bye.
do my own thing because they might they might pace too fast for me.
Yeah.
And this is like, I could keep up with Ben that day, but if we'd have done double the distance, I'd have keeled over.
Yeah.
I was done when we were running on the flat, and even on some of the slopes down, like I was done on that leg back. It was about 5k left of just really gentle hill, like gentle sloping down or just flat, and I kept like having to walk, run. Run. I was fucked.
As in what? Mentally, physically? What was
physically
going?
exhausted. My legs were just done.
Yeah.
They were absolutely keeled over. Probably down to not eating enough, so not enough calories.
Yeah.
And being physically exhausted in that respect, like all of my energy stores have gone.
Yeah.
Probably not drinking enough as well. I barely drank anything.
You are horrendous for drinking water, like.
Shocking.
The worst.
Give me some sand.
You
I'll
are
just
basically
drink a cup of
desert.
sand. I am. So, with that in mind, I plan on setting an alarm for every half hour
Yeah.
to have a bite of something
That's a
and
really
have
good
a glug
idea.
of water.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, what else can I foresee happening? They're basically it. Make sure I'm hydrated and fueled. So I've taken that out of my hands and put it on an alarm.
Yeah.
Stick with the group and keep the slowest pace of the group, but just maintain that until sunrise.
Yeah.
And then if it just has to be me alone, then so be it. I'm quite comfortable running on my
Doing it
own,
on your
so
own,
I'm
yeah.
prepared to do that. And that's it. Just finish. It doesn't matter what time I fucking finish.
Yeah.
As long as I finish before sunsets. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely finish before sunset, 100%. But I think it's really interesting. I think it'll be really interesting to see what problems you come up against, because I know Ben says that about all his ultras, is like, it's just problem solving.
Yeah.
Like, after a while, you can only get to a certain level of fitness to run, like, ultra marathons. Like, he's done, like, the 240 miles and shit like that. You're never going to train your body to get to that level of fitness.
No.
You could never be fit enough to be like, I can run 240 miles any day of the week. Like, it doesn't work like that.
No.
But it's the ability to problem solve. And I think that's going to be a really interesting thing for you to, like, see and do on this run, because you're going to come up against shit that you've never, like, even thought about running.
A bear.
Well, hopefully not a bear. I'll be surprised if they're knocking about Keswick.
Be cool if there was.
You never know. But, yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. Really
Aye.
cool. Are you excited or are you nervous?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see new scenes and push myself to a new limit that I've not yet done before. Like, that's cool. That's to me, that's the whole point of sport. It's to take you somewhere brand fucking new to you and get you to experience new things and new places and people to a certain degree, but it's like the physical capacity and the mental capacity as well.
Yeah.
Like, how much can I do? How much can I take on and survive?
Yeah. How much can you push your body?
Yeah.
And it's like growth as well, isn't it? Because you're learning so much by doing this that can only benefit you, one, in like your physical aspect, and two, in like your business and mental aspect as well. Like, it's all going to add into more information that you have personally available to help other people as well.
Aye. That's it. So I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to having a good pint when I'm done.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be delicious.
I'm going to come for the end, not the beginning.
No.
I'll come for the end and cheer you on in Keswick.
You're not going to see me off at 3:20 in the morning.
Absolutely fucking not.
Some friend you.
I can't even get out of bed before 8 at the moment.
I've no idea how I'm going to do it. I'll probably not even be asleep. I'll just be wired.
You need to try and get some good sleep the day before, like have a lie in and then
Maybe
sleep
a nap.
up. Yeah, because Ben's done this before. Depending on, like, your set-off times are really integral. Like, he's done a lot where he starts at, like, 10 o'clock on the night, and all those ones have always been less successful than ones that are started in the morning. So you need that, like, normal sleep pattern. Even if you're waking up early, like, fucking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you've still got that first part of sleep, haven't you, from, like, 9 till 12 or whatever it is. Because whenever he started at 10, he's just fucked it up big time, because your body's, you can't sleep through the day. Like, no one, I can sleep, I can't sleep through the day properly and then wake up in the night time and be like, it's just like I've had a full night's sleep.
No, I couldn't do multiple hours. Like, I could probably sleep for about 2 to 3 hours through the day, but anything after that, it's just like you're tossing about. And
Yeah, you never sleep properly, do you?
You're not comfortable.
So I think that as long as you get a decent bit of sleep the day before, you'll be absolutely sound.
Yeah.
And then you'll just be buzzing. What's your plan after this? So once you've done this, is it going to be dependent on its success for what you do next?
Not
or
really, no. Like, as long as I don't hurt myself,
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to it being over so that there's no pressure about a thing with other people.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go out and I want to go over the fucking Yorkshire moors and just mooch about, bash about up and down Rosebery Top Inn and, you know, get on the Cleveland Way, do bits that are local to me.
Yeah.
You know, really enjoy the countryside that's
Cleveland Way would
on
be
my
a
doorstep.
really cool one to do.
Not even the full of it, just
just bits and pieces.
Just go drive out. I want to do like a few hours out today, or a few kilometres, and just pick a route and just do it, and then go home and let that be my normal training, like fucking Ben does, you know.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like gym's not really floating my boat at the moment, but it never does if there's nothing to work towards.
Yeah.
So I might just go and do like a bro session on my upper body and then just run.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense that I think I agree with you. I struggle with the gym when you don't have a goal in sight, but yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. Do you feel like you've had a lot of benefit from running? Like, do you feel better in yourself or do you feel worse?
Feel totally better. Like the biggest thing for me is like I feel like I can trust my lungs.
Yeah.
Like I can feel on a run that they start getting tight, but I know that it'll relax if I just breathe in through my nose, focus on diaphragm moving and manipulating my lungs rather than like making it the panic breaths.
That apical
like
breathing.
Yeah,
when it's
exactly.
at the top.
Which is typical for people with asthma.
Yeah.
And it's just a really mindful activity, you know.
Yeah.
I like that about it, you know. I've benefited from it because it's given me some clarity. It's given me some moments where I'm just focusing on what I'm doing rather than stuff that I need to do or stuff that I'm worried about that's happened in the past or blah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. It's so annoying, but it's so nice to have something else. Because I don't really have that mindful practice in training in the gym. Like my mind runs wild, and then I'm on Instagram, and then I'm criticising myself because I'm not as good as somebody else. It's fucked. But I can't play around on Instagram while I'm running.
No, it's really.
And I don't want to. I don't want to touch my phone.
Yeah. Do you listen to music when you run?
No.
Just run on your own?
I find it better if I run on my own. I will listen to music if it's like a low intensity one and I have to stick to a certain tempo.
Yeah.
Because fast music will encourage me to move faster, but
you
know, something relaxing, something nice like folk music, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Low beats per minute. That's quite nice and a useful tool, but generally I like to have my ears open so I can hear birds and if there's a car fucking flying at me and screeching and twisting in the road and about to mow me down, you know, or some kids on a fucking motorcycle that are about to rob me, I'd like to hear these things.
No, I like that. I run a little bit with music, but a lot without, and I think it's funny how you can go like running with a problem. So like say something's gone wrong or like you're thinking about something and it's almost like overwhelming you a little bit. I feel like you can go out for a run and by the time you get back, that problem's solved in your head.
Oh, yeah.
You already know what you're going to do about it.
Yeah.
You already have like an idea of like, yeah, I'm going to do this or I can do this or it's never as bad as it seemed before you ran. It's almost like therapeutic, I feel like.
Totally.
Whereas like I don't really get that out of training. I feel better when I've trained. Like,
me too, but it's
and
not
it's towards
like
a goal, but
you've
it's
still
not...
got that issue to resolve once you've finished training.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. Love running. This is going to turn into a running podcast.
Oh, God. We're going to lose all of our followers.
Running woman highs.
No, it can't be. So, Becca, what have you been up to?
Oh, God. Well, mine's not been as good, I will say. I've not had the best couple of weeks. So, my bicep decided to detach itself on Tuesday last week. I'm not going to lie, I genuinely didn't believe it was possible for this to happen to natural females. And that's
especially natural females who don't have biceps.
Yeah, who don't even have big biceps. So, like, I'll put out there now, that's my 100% naive view of the whole thing.
You cursed it.
Yeah, I cursed it. And I know exactly why it's happened. Like, I've thought about it a lot. It makes total sense why it happened. Basically, I've obviously been training for that record. I have as many of like my friends know, and you'll know, I have a lot of plates spinning a lot of the time. Probably too many plates, one would say. And I'm always running at about 110% capacity because I like it. That's how I get things done.
Yeah.
Like, I love a bit of like stress. It's great. But I've been training for this record. I've got like uni exams. There's loads of shit going on. I started to get a really niggly right bicep, and I was like, this isn't great. Like, I told you about it, and I'd said, it feels awful on the axle clean. The minute I pick it up, it just feels like tight, dirty, just like something's going to go wrong. So in my grand wisdom, I thought, well, I can just change my mixed grip. Like, how hard can that be? Which it wasn't that hard. I did one session with it, and suddenly I was like, I can do this. This is fine. Like, I'll do left hand, underhand, and the pain immediately stopped in my right bicep. Cool. No problems at all. I didn't really train my right bicep at all because I was like, it just feels not great. I'm going to leave it for a couple of weeks, let it calm down, and then I'll put some sort of protocol in place to start building that up, because I think it's tendonitis. Like, this was my thinking. I think it's tendonitis on my right bicep. So give it a bit of time off. I'll start loading it again. I trained with Jack Renison, fucking...
Shout out, Jack.
Well, shout out Jack. If you want to train with him and get the worst injuries of your life, do it. So it's all Jack Renison's fault. Everybody.
Just don't let him encourage you to go off program.
Don't let him do anything, yeah. Just don't train
Don't be
with
around him. Everyone
Sorry.
unfollow him.
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was training with him, and I'd hit a 95 double on the axle with no sleeves, and it was...
It looked ace, yeah.
I felt awful. I felt really bad. Before the session, I thought, I'm never going to hit this 95 double. And then I started warming up, and I was like, I can do this. This is piss. Like, this is so easy. And I thought about it, and me and Jack were talking, and we were like, should we just do the 102? Like, I know I can do it. I've obviously hit 102 where I dropped it behind me, but I know I've got it in me. And I thought, that 95 was too easy.
Yeah.
Too easy. I can do it. There's no reason I can't do this. And then... I picked it up off the floor. Everything just felt a bit off. Like, the first clean, I was like, didn't like that. Something doesn't feel right. Nothing, like, crazy. My arm was a bit sore, but I was like, I just don't know. That doesn't feel great. And I thought, you're just being a pussy because it's a big weight. Like, which is what I've had to do a lot.
Legitimately, like, that could have been...
Yeah, 100%.
The issue, but what you didn't know was that your
my bicep was
tendon
probably on its way out.
Intolerant to it.
Yeah, 100%. So the second time I cleaned it, the minute it came off the floor, my bicep just went bye-bye. And I felt the pop. I felt it pull up my arm, and I knew what had happened immediately. I started moving my arm about, which I think a lot of people have sort of said, oh, well, you moved your arm after the video.
Yeah, but, you know...
Biceps don't do that much.
One person is not the same as everybody else either.
Exactly. And, like, my biceps are tiny, and... There's like 4 of the muscles that flex your elbow,
that's a very good point.
Yeah, I knew it was. I knew what it was the minute I'd done it, and yeah, I went to A&E. The A&E doctor thought it was partial. I got referred to trauma outpatients. They thought it was partial because usually with a bicep tear, you get what's called a Popeye deformity. You'll have seen it if you're a strong man. You'll know the crack. It's basically where your bicep's not where it's meant to be. And I didn't have that. It didn't look like that. Mine wasn't right. It just didn't fit the mold. So, luckily, I managed to get the ultrasound. The minute I got the ultrasound, the lady was like, yeah, it's gone. Which is what I'd expected.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to then get seen by an upper limb specialist, like, the week after. So this was all happening from the Tuesday. Monday, I got to see an upper limb specialist. She was like, yep, that's fine. She did say that my biceps were weedy, which was really a burn. Kick a girl while she's down. But I am inclined to agree with her. They are shit. Which is why I'm surprised they managed to pull off. But yeah, she was meant to do surgery Wednesday, and then she got poorly, so she couldn't do it. But then another guy at James Cook said he could do it on Thursday, so I've managed to get it reattached. But it was all like a massive rush, whirlwindy pile of shit, and it was... I've posted videos about it, I've kept everyone updated, and I was fine. Like, I've had really good days where I'm like, this is absolutely fine. And then other days where I've been like, this is the end of my life. Like, what have I just fucking done? Like, I can't believe this has happened to me. And I feel this sounds really, like, petty and childish, but I feel really, like, shunned that it's happened to me. Like, I'm like, this is not fair. Like, I've done everything I possibly could to not get injured, and I feel like I am relatively sensible about my training. Like, I do push myself really hard, but because I want to be good. Like, I've never come into this thinking I'm happy to just do inters comps for the rest of my life. Like, my goals are world's strongest woman. Like, I've always said this, but I just feel shunned out that it's happened, And I also feel very, like, there was a little part, well, there is a big part of me that thinks maybe you're not made for this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's an annoying, intrusive thought.
yeah, like I'm, 4 years in? Like I started training 5 years in, 2019, the end of 2019 I started training. And I've done all right, but then I've had this, like, a fairly severe injury early on, and I'm like, fuck, like, I know you can come back from it, but is this a sign for me being like, your body's actually not genetically that good? Like, you're not actually that good.
Oh, bless you.
I'm not going to cry
You're
and be
a
like,
fucking
pity party
idiot,
for
man.
it.
Like, you can't tell what your genetic makeup is like for a sport just because you got
100%,
injured
yeah.
once.
But I do think, like, it's a...
Is this the first injury that you've had from the sport?
No.
Like, obviously it's a serious one, but have you had other little things?
Yeah, I've had loads of little niggles. Like, I did at the very beginning, like, when I first started training, I tore my QL in my back, and I couldn't walk for, like, 3 days, and I managed to come back from that. But that's why my deadlift's always been shit, because I have this big, like, head fuck around hurting my back, which I don't talk about a lot, but, like, I think that's why it's almost like a subconscious thing for me. Like, I'll pull a deadlift and my body's going, fucking do it, fucking send it, pull it, grind it. The minute my body gets any sort of, like, resistance or pain, I'll just stop.
Yeah.
It's like a freeze reaction, which is why I'm so much better in a suit as well, because the suit gives me like a mental cover.
Does me as well.
Like a mental protection where I'm like, can't hurt myself in a suit.
Yeah.
Can't hurt myself, which I have, but, like, you can't hurt yourself in a suit, so I'm more likely to rag it. Whereas raw, I'm like, nah, too scared.
Like, you almost don't trust yourself.
Yeah, but in my head, I'm like, just fucking do it, you pussy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, my body's like, oh, bitch, what the fuck?
It's crippling, like.
But yeah, it's really weird. It's been really weird. It's been a really weird few days of, like, just thinking about stuff and trying to work it out. The surgery was terrifying because I've never had surgery. So that was, like, a big head fuck as well, because I knew I had to have it. I know, obviously, you can do it without a bicep, but...
Well, you don't want to be creepy.
Well, my original goal when I started...
You don't want to be a creepy person with a little fucking pea shooting up your arm.
It wouldn't have made any difference. No one would have noticed anyway. I've got the one bicep that have been like, are you sure? But yeah, so it's just... Yeah, the surgery was really good, though. It was really successful. I'm in a cast now for 2 weeks, and then in a brace, and then hopefully recovery. They've said 3 months of no training on this arm, obviously. And then I'm thinking, like, 3 to 4 months to build it back up. So my goal is August. My goal, depending on events and depending on how my recovery goes, would be Europe's 90 Worlds. That's my plan, to get back for that. But that, again, will be...
It has to be loose and quite flexible, doesn't it?
It has to be right. And if it's not right, I'm not going to do it.
No.
Like, I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
Have you thought about what you'll do if they're not possible for you this year?
I'll just
how are you going to keep yourself moving?
I don't know. Well, my aim is for them. So I think it'll be like a decider. Like, it'll be one of them where a couple of weeks out or a month out, if I know I'm not right, I'll pull it then and just say I'm not going to do it, and then just work probably then to next year. And then my plan for next year would be to go straight through the 90 pathway again, because I'll have to fucking re-qualify for everything, won't I? And then, yeah, just, like, take the year as a fresh next year. But it's just shit, because, like, this year, without being big-headed, was going to be my year.
Yeah.
I'd already decided.
Yeah, I think last year was your year.
Well, I mean, yeah, last year was a good year, but it was, like... In my head, that was like I was creating a base.
Okay.
I was creating a base
This
of, like...
is the start of good years.
Yeah, like I'm coming in, I've proved to myself that I am good if I believe in it.
Yeah.
And I can do these things. Like that 100 kilo overhead, I just convinced myself that I could do that.
Aye.
Like, I was like, there's no way you can't do this. Like, I 100% believe that I can press 100 kilo overhead. And the minute 100 went, I was like, I can't get 105, 110. Like, there's no reason I can't do it. So... I think my mindset changed this year, especially after 90 Worlds, and I was just like, you can fucking really make some waves this year if you try hard, which is what I did, and I fucked myself.
You did, but...
Don't listen to what I do.
You've got good evidence, like your back issue that you had, your deadlift has gone up this year.
Yeah.
Like, your raw deadlift did go up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you've changed something in your head that's allowed you to trust your body and grind it out and go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's that. You can carry that skill over into rehabbing your bicep and then trusting its ability to stay attached.
Yeah.
Which would be really nice. But it's not the one that would be susceptible to injury anyway, is it?
No, because it's not my.
The other one was
arm.
creeping in and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna rupture pretty soon, so you wanna check yourself." And instead, you just put the other one into a risk instead. So I don't see it being an issue.
No,
I don't see it anything except your fucking noggin being an issue.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be the hardest thing. Is going to be the mental side of it, but. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think the benefit that I've got is obviously, like, one, I'm a physio student, so
This is only going to be good for your business going forward.
Only going to be good. In my head, like, this is potentially 3 birds with 1 stone, because I've said I'm doing my dissertation planning, so I'm going to base my dissertation around something to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll obviously have all of this information for future practice when I actually set my business up as physio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have a fantastic blueprint to help people get back from this surgery or from bicep ruptures.
And the most important thing, like first-hand experience.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
no physios do when they're dealing with injuries unless they've been playing sports.
100%. So I think it's going to be beneficial. It's an opportunity that I've been given. It's not the opportunity I wanted.
You don't get to choose them. You take what life throws at you.
But it's been given, and I have to take it and use it if I'm gonna get anywhere with it. So. Yeah, it'll be fine. It's just shit at the moment, isn't it?
Totally. But injuries are, like, and life is shit. Things happen now and then, and it's like, this isn't going to be forever. So make sure you don't dwell on it and make it last longer than it actually is required to last.
Yeah.
But they're kind of sent there to make you appreciate the good times when they come back, but also, like, especially in sport, big picture. Like, what were you actually expecting to do strongman forever?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do
100%.
without strongman?
Yeah.
What are you going to do if you fucking sever your spinal cord and then you can't move anymore? Like, what if you're paralysed?
Yeah, what's
if you
the other
just
things
die?
in your life? Yeah. What if you just die?
But fucking anything could happen. You're in a really good situation. Where you've had a good surgery and the recovery is going to be fucking great because you're learning about it and you will take it seriously. Because you're incentivized to get back to your sport. So absolutely, you're learning about it anyway. And you want to get back to the sport. I see no issues with it. But it is good as a little lesson to think, if this was to be taken away from me, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah, 100%. It makes you think about other things that are going on in your life.
Totally. Because it can't just be one-dimensional. You can't just have that sport. There has to be some other reason why you keep yourself moving and keep yourself healthy.
Definitely. And I almost think as well, like, although I hate it, it's almost going to be a blessing for me because I was hyper-focused.
You were really obsessed.
Hyper-focused on this record.
We've all been at that stage.
Yeah, and it
either goes well or it doesn't. And in your case, it was going fucking brilliantly.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, nah.
Nothing, yeah. But with that being said, I was hyper-focused. Other things were going.
Yeah.
Like, I was aware I was slipping on other stuff. Like,
that's
I hadn't
interesting.
done any uni work at all. Like, I'll openly say I've done nothing. Nothing. No uni work. I have exams in April and May. I've done no revision.
That are canny important, like.
Yep, and I've not done anything.
There's no point in racking up all of that debt for no reason.
No, exactly. And I 100% put
Strongman's
that on
not
the
gonna
back
pay
burner.
you.
Exactly. Well, this is the thing. It's almost like my priorities were out of whack.
So that was the message of the universe. Hey, Becca, you need to be
prioritise
doing
better.
Your course. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I agree. And I do think it's almost come at, like, the right time for me to be like, nah, you need to take this. Like, strongman's
you've got time
not
to
forever.
pull it around.
Yeah, whereas your physio business could potentially be. So, like, you need to up your game a little bit and think a bit more sensibly. So, although shit, it's
a blessing in disguise. A really, really cunty blessing.
It's a real disguise. Like a Scooby-Doo one, but where they take off like 7 or 8 masks. The most disguised.
Oh, God. Secrets.
I was also going to mention, obviously, there's been a lot of discussion around
What you
Right.
should do about your bicep.
What I should do about my bicep. Now, there's a lot of information out there that's wrong, for one, which is what I'm hoping to sort of get, like, if I post a lot about it, then people are going to understand it a bit more, which is why I'm posting so much. Sorry, everybody, but, like, I don't have anything else to fucking talk about right now,
she's got
so...
no life.
You're just going to have to put up with it. Mute me if you need to.
Bicep life.
But yeah, there's a lot of information out there, and I've had a lot of advice given to me. One of the biggest parts of advice that I've been given so far is to take peptides. We're going to do another podcast on this with some other people, just to talk about SAMs and peptides, because obviously it's not an area of expertise for either of us, really, is it?
No. Or for anyone, really.
Well, because it's all research.
Certainly
yeah.
not us.
Have you ever taken any peptides or SAMs?
I tried BBC 157 once upon a time. I have no idea why I was actually
Just for
trying it,
funsies?
just because my back was hurting.
Fair
and
enough.
The injection stung so much, I couldn't bear it. Like, I just wasn't going to do that ever again. So,
Fair enough.
off. No.
Look at that.
Get out.
So yeah, I've been told by loads of people to do BPC 157 and TB 500.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of research on them, and my decision at the moment is based on the fact that I think I can rehab this myself.
Yeah.
I don't think I need any extra help, and also it is banned in UKNS and Natural
There we
Worlds.
go. Right.
So if I was to take it, I want to document what I've done, because I think it's useful for people, and it would be interesting if it works. It's then not something that I would recommend, because obviously it's all research,
Yeah.
but it would be something that you could say, in my personal experience, this has worked or it hasn't.
Yeah.
And obviously if I do that, then I can't compete in UKNS, which I don't think I'm done in the Natties yet, because in my mind, if I'm going to come out for the Natties to use something like that, I might as well run a cycle.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready for
No.
a cycle yet.
No, I don't think so. You're still very, like, new.
Yeah, like, I've never said never, and that I would never take steroids or anything like that, but I'm not ready yet to do that, and I don't want to be pushed into a decision because of a situation that I'm currently in.
And that you can manage by yourself without
And that I could
a
easily
special
manage.
substance.
Yeah, so while I'm going to do a lot of research, and have done a lot of research on peptides, it's not a decision that I'm going to make now.
If you were to rupture the other bicep, that's when the experiment will start.
Yeah. I think if I became one of these injury-prone people, then it would be potentially something that I would look into. But there's a lot of science out there on it. My biggest concern with a lot of this stuff is there's no long-term side effects.
No.
And, like, yeah, there's studies based on rats. We're very different from rats.
I don't feel like I am closely related to a rat.
No, I don't.
Maybe a cat. Or a pigeon. But not a rat.
No.
No.
I just think well, rats don't live long enough to have had long-term side effects off of it yet, either, do they? So, like,
Fact.
you don't know what's going to happen in 10,
No,
20
you don't.
years when we've
Do
all got
shite.
fucking all sorts of cancer from injecting ourselves full of research chemicals, and we're going to be like, nah, god damn it.
Why didn't the rats tell
Who'd have
us?
thought this? Which, I mean, might not happen, but it has happened in the past.
Yeah.
Like, we all got told smoking was really good for us for a very long
By
time.
doctors.
Yeah, by doctors. Everyone was taking cocaine at one point because that was really good for you.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm not sold on the idea, but it'll be interesting to see what comes of bits of research that I've done. And I know everyone loves it and raves about how good it is and amazing and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, not a decision that I'm willing to make for myself right now. So
No.
still a natty, even though I've got one fucking less bicep. As if.
Oh dear.
But anyway, right, so that's the end really of our serious talking. I feel like we've covered a lot we've covered a lot, but also not really a lot.
I think it's been a lot.
I think we've covered plenty.
I think we're done here.
Yeah. Are we silly goosing it?
All right.
Right, we're silly goosing back on. So, luckily for us, Emma Grunnell has actually finally sent us a silly goose song, which I will now play to initiate the start of the silly goosing.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
So following on from the Silly Goose song.
We hope you liked it.
I hope you liked it. Emma put a lot of effort into it, as you can tell. That goose honk is actually my original goose honk from original setting up of Silly Goose in.
Wow.
Which I love the commitment to that. If we have any really clever friends who can add music, that would also be greatly appreciated. So if you think you can make an absolute Silly Goose banger to Emma's song, then hit me up, let me know. I can send you the file and you can do your magic. And you'll be forever known as, well, the Silly Goose Songmeister.
Yeah, you will not be paid royalties.
No, we can't afford that. Like,
no. We'll give you a high five.
We'll give you a high five every time we see you. So, the Silly Goose in for today is your opinion on magpies.
I think they're really creepy. Like, they've got their own little greeting that people say to them. Like, they've trained humans to greet them like they are middle class.
Yeah, I agree.
People.
They're really, they've almost got like a monopoly over people, haven't they? Like, people can't go past them sometimes and not say.
No?
Or whatever it is. I can't remember what the word is.
I don't know.
Like, hello,
what it
Mr.
is.
Magpie, or something stupid
Mrs.
like that.
Magpie and something else for 3.
How do you know if it's a boy or a girl? They both look the same, don't they?
Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares? And then they've got their own song, haven't they? That like one magpie's for what? Sorrow, joy? I can't remember.
I don't know either, but
they're really superstitious.
They've got a lot on us.
Yeah,
and
they do.
I don't know whether we've created that or whether they've actually sent, like telepathic communication to us. Are they mind controlling us?
I mean, there's always the chance. I'm still on the steadfast that birds aren't real, and I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know about magpies because pigeons in my head are government drones. Like the pigeons are always listening to us. You can't trust.
Yeah. That's why there's so many in London, because there's
100%.
many people in London to listen to.
Because they're just droned about listening, aren't
Yeah.
they? Like little snaky, horrible, sneaky pigeons. But magpies, I don't believe they're just a bit too edgy to be part of the government, aren't they? But I don't feel like they're up to good things, though.
No, like
if the magpies took over, life would be bad.
I think they're like the Elon Musk
Yeah, I like that
of
comparison.
Birdland.
Yeah.
Like, they're like shiny things. They are the elite of the birds.
Yeah.
They're wealthy.
They're really hard to kill as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
What would be your chosen method of killing?
Well, so there's a trap, an old-timey trap that you can use to catch magpies. I'm just saying, I don't catch magpies, by the way,
Okay.
FYI. I think they're protected. I wouldn't be 100% sure on that, though. Maybe they're under general license. See if magpies are under general license. They might be. But there's a thing called a larcen trap that you can do. And what you do is you catch one magpie, you put it in the trap, and then that one magpie calls the other magpies into the trap, and you can trap loads of magpies in one trap with one magpie.
Wow.
I don't really know how it works, but they obviously call to the other one and they want to get the other one out or whatever.
That sounds stupid.
Well, yeah. They are pretty stupid, but they're really aggressive. So the only reason I know this is because when I've been on site, like flying like harrisawks and stuff like that, magpies will actively attack the harrisawks. Like they'll run up to them and like pull their tails and stuff like that. They're really, really aggressive. It's same with crows. Seagulls are bad. Seagulls are quite aggressive, but like magpies they're just nasty little things, just causing havoc all the time.
The creepy little worms living in the mouth.
I do like the way that they chatter though when they're like chittering on.
I like
quite
their
cool.
noises. They are fun and they're nice to look at. Like their black feathers got that greeny tinge to them. They are
a
quite
nice looking
jewelly.
bird. Have you seen the ones in Australia that proper attack people? Those magpies out there, they're like magpies but on like gear. They're fucking crazy. The magpies are the protectors of Australia.
I like that.
What are they doing here then? Because
Stealing all of our money.
These ones aren't the same. These are shit magpies, aren't they?
I watched a pet magpie trying to disturb somebody from drawing like an archaeological thing, and it was interfering with this woman trying to like do her work. So I think it might have been hired from a rival company.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like it was trying to fuck her over.
Yeah. And then it lay on its back and kind of giggled when she tickled its belly.
Ooh.
You know, like just lulling her into a false sense of security. This is my friend.
Not sure about that.
Magpies are good.
Magpies are protected. Classified in the UK as green under the Birds of Conservation. Concern 5. The red list for birds. Oh, does that mean the red list? There can't be red list. There's hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. Magpies are really nasty to other birds, though, aren't they?
They are.
They'll steal
Don't
eggs
they
and
steal
stuff.
babies? Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
they
so.
do. As if. I don't. I'm going to put it out there now and be like, I'm not a fan of magpies.
No.
Big no. Get them in the bin.
Aye.
I don't
Don't
feel like
trust
I'd
them.
miss them. I like jackdaws and crows.
Yeah,
I
they're
could do
quite
without.
cool.
I could do with them and not magpies ever again.
Yeah, they're just creepy.
Yeah, and I don't believe they're superstitious either.
No, I'm not into that. Like, black cats are sound. I've got one.
I was born on
Not wrong
Friday
with
the 13th. Nothing can touch me.
No, apart from
Apart from biceps.
Axel cleans.
This is it now. Magpie's gonna come and take my other bicep, innit?
Just peck it out.
Just get me. I'm gonna have to fucking protect myself. Get some bicep protectors.
If you make your biceps look less like little worms, then
Oh no!
they all went there.
Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah, I
It's
do
like,
need
this
to
is
work.
embarrassing, Becca.
I do need to work on biceps.
Do.
Problem is my arm's 90% tricep. I don't do any pressing. Like, I just push and catch and hope for the best.
It is genuinely a good way to make your arm look fucking huge.
Yeah.
But you need a good peak on that. You
I
need a
know.
good little mountain.
I'm going to build some biceps this year. Next
Well,
year.
just like one. Well, two, technically.
I'd like to have 2.
Be
That
cool
would
to
be a
have-
good number.
Cool to have 4.
You'd look so weird. Like a breast implant on the side of your arm. Double bicep.
Creepy.
I could have just got a bicep implant, to be fair. And
Oh.
then...
Can you not, like, is that wound still open?
Just
Can they stick
chuck one
something
in.
in there?
I should have said to him while I was at it.
Hey,
Hey,
well,
mate.
Put a bit of a bit of plastic in there
Do
or
another
something.
one while you're at it.
Make
Give
it
us
look a bit more impressive.
This, do you know what one of my biggest concerns was when I snapped it off as well? I wasn't thinking about like strongman and stuff. I thought, my bodybuilding career's already gone.
Is that what you were going to retire to?
Yeah, that's always been my original plan. I'm like, I've always got bodybuilding and I'll fall back into it. Bearing in mind, I can't even diet low enough to get into strongman weight category.
Nah, man.
So
I don't think you're that... Sorry,
I'm
guys. I don't think you're that boring.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. But I also,
It's
I don't
just
think
so
I'm that disciplined.
monotonous, and like there's so many aspects to it that you have to get. Oh, it's just no.
I agree. It's very
No.
It's very deep into it, and I
I've
definitely
been
don't
asked
have.
so many times, like, why don't you just do that? I'm like, you do it.
It's the discipline that's
why
required.
don't you do it?
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking do that.
No.
At all.
I've hated just like Bex has had me on a low cut going into this like competition, and I've struggled with this. I've struggled eating 2,000 calories a day.
That's quite tricky.
I'm not going to be
Yeah.
down to 1,200
No.
like for weeks on end. I'd die. I'd
No,
just
no, no.
die. But
I
yeah,
love the training of it. Like, I really,
Agree.
really love the fucking pump.
yeah, I
Really
do
love
too.
it. Going to absolute fucking muscular exhaustion.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah, I'm with you
Apart
on
from
that.
in the quads. Or
Yeah.
the calves.
And then the next
Or the
day,
hamstrings.
when you can't move at all,
I hate that.
that's the worst
I don't
bit.
mind not being able to move my upper body, though. The problem is when I can't, like, walk up and down the stairs like a human that's not in their 90s.
Yeah, I agree with
Like,
you.
that's a problem.
Yeah,
Maybe I need a wheelchair so that I can do bodybuilding.
it's just a step in the wrong direction, I feel.
I just couldn't be arsed at all. Just rather go out for a run
Way too much commitment
and then
for
eat
me.
like a Palmo when I get back. That's a good thing about running.
You can eat fucking loads.
You can eat so much.
Yeah, it's a
and
proper
it is
bonus,
actually
isn't it?
like, it's better if you eat lots.
Yeah, like you just use it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's almost like it speeds your metabolism up as well, so like you can get away with eating way more.
Yeah.
And it just burns off you fast. It's fucking great.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I've felt really hungry though. That's my only problem with running. I feel obscenely hungry compared to training.
Do you?
Yeah, like if
Is
I'm
it
training
that
in the
bouncy
gym.
kind of thing though? Like when my stomach's starting to gurgle, and if I'm doing something that is like bouncy, it'll gurgle on the bounce, and that pisses me off.
Oh yeah, I've been in that situation before, but I think it's more like when I'm finished, and because I can't eat when I'm running, my heart rate's still too high because it needs to be under like 140 to be able to eat, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And I can't, like, I've not got to the point where I need to eat while I'm running either. But it's like 2 or 3 hours after, once the blood's returned from my face to my stomach, I can be like, I'm gonna eat everything in sight now.
Absolutely famished.
But before that, I'm just like, meh.
Yeah. It's a tricky devil.
This is tangent.
Absolutely. Run, don't bodybuild. Kill all the magpies, but don't tell anybody that we told you to do that because it's illegal.
Because they are important. For what reason?
They're shiny.
One's fucking
They're
sure.
nice and shiny. They're pretty.
Yeah. I'm going to start swearing at me.
Oh, yeah.
Start a war.
Fuck you, Mr. Magpie.
Fuck off, magpie!
You dick.
Yeah, you know when people...
Your wife's a slag.
You know when people salute them, I'm just going to fucking middle finger them.
Yeah.
Fuck off, magpie.
Yeah. Give it the old wanky gesture.
Like you're catcalling them, but it's abusive instead.
Yeah. You fucking wanker.
You knobhead. Yeah. You've heard it here first.
Let's start swearing at the birds.
Rip the magpies, fuck them.
Yeah.
Right, that's enough.
I think so.
We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye!